Hello everybody, you're listening to The Art Show on 106.6 FM Wycombe Sound. I'm your host Dane Cobain. This is the weekly radio show where we chat about the local arts news. We have a different guest on each week. We head over to the Rhylight Zone for a short story and or some poetry, and we catch up with Twangling Jack Ford over in the Oak Shed for a weekly album review. As always, you can find us on Facebook. If you search for The Art Show on Wycombe Sound, you should be able to find us. And we are repeated on Wycombe Sound on Monday nights. We're on the Wycombe Sound Listen Again, iTunes, Spotify, and wherever else you get your podcasts. Please do leave us a short review on your podcast platform of choice. It all helps. You can find us on Facebook if you search for The Art Show on Wycombe Sound, and you can email me here at the studio on dane.cobain@wycombesound.org.uk. That's dane.cobain@wycombesound.org.uk. I'm particularly keen to hear from poets, performers, musicians, people with MP3s that'd like to share local arts news, etc. Don't hesitate to get in touch. So this week we're going to be chatting to the team at Wycombe Youth Action, but before we do that, we're going to head over to the Rhylight Zone for the latest instalment of Monsters of Rock by myself, Dane Cobain.
Great Dragon Cerise! Groen shouted, cupping his hands around his mouth to amplify his voice. It echoed throughout the valleys, but it scattered no birds. There was nothing living in the realm of the dragon. We've come to talk to you. Who dares disturb my slumber? The dragon replied. Her voice was as smooth as the strings of a lyre, and it had a curious lullaby quality that threatened to draw the listener in and envelop them with its magical timbre. Humans are highly suggestible creatures and are particularly vulnerable to dragons' voices. When a dragon makes a suggestion to a human, the human will think it's their own idea, as humans are wont to do. Luckily for the real monsters, they consisted of a troll, a dwarf, an elf, a vampire and a zombie, and Gwillem was still in the car, rocking out to Rain When I Die. My name is Groen Gonadson, the dwarf explained, and this is my band, the Real Monsters. And what's your business? Why'd you seek me out instead of fearing death from the sky? We were sent here to kill you, Groen said. The rest of his band turned to look at him, and most of them took several steps away. Only Kuzd remained loyal, probably because he couldn't follow the conversation and he didn't know what was going on. Kill me? The beast roared. Yes, Groen said. I was sent by a dark lord called the Nameless One. He said I'm to take him your head. And how do you plan to do that? I don't, Groen said. Instead, I'd like to make a proposition. A proposition? Yeah, the dwarf replied. Hear me out, and if you don't like what I have to say, you can eat me. I don't like dwarf, the dragon said sulkily. Too stringy. In that case, how about my elf friend? Hey, Yeva protested. I didn't survive the War of Independence to get turned into dragon food. I don't like elf either. Tastes a bit like swan, and I've never been one for swan. Well, you can't eat the troll, Groen said. Not unless you got a good dentist. What about those two? The dragon asked. No good, Groen replied. One's a vampire. You can tell by the way he's dressed like a gimp's wet dream. Vlad Black had a custom rubber suit for when he had to go outside in the daytime. There were no mouth or nose holes because there was no need for him to breathe. It worked like an astronomer's spacesuit and stopped his flesh from being exposed to the deadly sunlight. The other one's a zombie, so the meat's no good. Then what am I going to eat? Well, what do you like? Groen asked. Sheep, the dragon said. Why do you think I live in Wales? Ever been to China? Groen asked. More sheep there than anywhere else in the world. Fewer dragon hunters too. In fact, they love dragons over there. You'd be worshipped like a god. It would certainly be a nice change of scenery. But there's a problem, Groen said. If the Nameless One sent us, he'll send others. You'll be hunted for the rest of your days. And I suppose you have a solution. Sure do, Groen said. Give me one of your scales. Just one of them, mind. You must have plenty of them lying around. I'll take it back to the Nameless One and tell him that your head was too heavy to carry. I'm not sure if I should be offended. If he thinks you're dead, Groen explained, you won't have an army of orcs trying to hunt you down everywhere you go. And then maybe we'll get our recording contract. The dragon hooted with laughter, and 2 huge spurts of flame leaked out of its nostrils. It shuffled slightly, readjusting its huge wings, and the band was buffeted by the small gust of wind that accompanied the movement. You talk well, Groen Gonadson, the dragon said. I shall call you Groen Fafnir, after the dwarf who turned into a dragon. You can take one of my scales and tell the Dark Lord whatever you want. I won't stop you, and nor will I kill you. And with that, the great dragon shook her head from side to side, then reached up with one of her hind legs and scratched at it with a claw. The movement sent a half-dozen scales tumbling to the floor to reveal the fresh skin beneath. And what will you do? Groen asked. I'm going to pack up my hoard, the dragon said, and then I'm going to fly to China. Perhaps you're right, Groen Gonadson. We shall see. The band watched the dragon fly away until she was no more than a speck of dust in the skyline, indistinguishable from the gulls, the crows and the ravens. The five of them stood in silence, barely moving, watching as Death on Wings began its preparations for the journey to the Far East. Then there was a noise from behind them as the camper van door slid open and Gwillem the farmer disembarked from it. "What did I miss?" he asked. "Not much," Groen replied. "I can see that," Gwillem said. "You're still alive." Groen led the way towards where the dragon had perched in the middle of the road. Its fallen scales were resting in the dust, just waiting to be picked up. Groen walked over and tried to grab one, but it was over a metre across and each one of them weighed as much as a suit of plate mail. He tried again and managed to lift one onto his shoulders, but the damn thing was bigger than he was and he had to lower it back down again. "Kurzd!" Groen shouted. "Come and give me a hand, will you?" The troll made light work of the dragon's scales, and with Kurzd's muscles and Yeva's know-how, they were soon able to haul the scales onto the camper van's roof. Then they tied them in place using some hemp ropes that Yeva had brought with her from her rooftop home in Pocini Forest. They slowed the vehicle down, but it could handle the extra strain. Kurz still had to follow the vehicle on foot, though. It was a long journey home, especially for Kurz, who had to fit himself in the vestibules of the trains again. Even once they got back, there was nothing for them to do. It wasn't as though Groen had a direct line to the Nameless One. With the mission over, and the first part of a mighty scam in action, they could only wait.
That was the latest instalment of Monsters of Rock by myself, Dane Cobain. You're listening to The Archer on 106.6 FM Wycombe Sound, and this is Hogar's Wolf with Ms. Monagle and I.
Become one, become one, become one, become one. To become one, and that's me, and that's you. Become one. Through all the changes, we grew as one. Become one, become one, become one. To become one. Well, it's me and it's you. Become one. As one, me and you.
How do you hide a bruise when it's under your skin but constantly pushing through? Please tell me, how do you close off your heart when it's been beaten and torn apart? When When is the time right to say I'm through? There's no point crying, there's nothing to do. Like a mirror shattered, I no longer have a clear view of you. And I am always turning, and I am always turning. Black and blue, black and blue. I'll say it louder, I'll say it louder. It's all thanks to you. It's all thanks to you. It's alright, darling, now I see the truth. The thoughts you've been hiding, the fear of wasted youth. I want you to know that I see the strain in your smiles. 'Cause you know this town was never ours. Isn't it funny how these things go? They're watching our cities die from miles below. You cut all of your ties to try to keep a hold. But honey, did you forget about me? How do you hide a bruise? I'm not the one who will lose. How do you hide a bruise? I'm not the one who'll turn black and blue.
That was Black and Blue by Esther Hayes, and before that we had Hogar's Wolf with Ms Monagle and I. You're listening to The Art Show on 106.6 FM Wycombe Sound, and it's time for us to be joined now by Wycombe Youth Action for this week's catch-up call interview.
Today, obviously, I want to chat about Wycombe Youth Action. I thought a good place to start would be to just ask, what is Wycombe Youth Action and what's your role there?
Right, Wycombe Youth Action have been around, I don't know if you know, probably since 1982.
Wow, amazing.
It's a young people's charity. We support young people from the age of 10 right up through to 25 with various different projects. I've been here for 10 years now. Started as a project officer, then I was a senior project officer, and now I'm an assistant manager, doing quite well at the moment. And we rely a lot on our sessional staff to help us run all of our projects. There's a lot of projects I can tell you about. We run 3 youth clubs. One's called Empower, which is run at Youth Space in Green Street. That's for boys. That runs on a Thursday evening, 5 till 7. And that's run by my colleague Hasib. I run 2 youth clubs, Shiro's on a Tuesday night for girls. That's 4 till 6. And I also run one on a Wednesday night, which I've just got home from, which is 3:30 to 5:30, and that's called Be Easy, and that's for girls and boys. We're up to maximum capacity. They're full. You have 15 young people each week who join us. So that's 3 youth clubs that we run. Hasib does a lot of mentoring in schools and delivers workshops to boys. I do stuff in schools as well, empowering young women, talking about things like consent and online safety, bullying, body image, various different things. That's for girls. And I also do a project called OK to Talk, which is getting young boys to talk about issues which they may be facing. So that's another project. Beauty in the Truth, International Women's Day, International Men's Day. One of our biggest projects at the moment is anti-knife crime.
Yeah.
And we have just completed a 6-minute track, which has been all the young people did the lyric, we've done the music, we've done a music video, all been recorded in Wycombe in various different places. It's due to be released in January. We have our first live performance this Friday at Wycombe Arts Centre, so they're really excited about that. After that, we're doing a film on anti-knife crime as well, so it's major at the moment. This project, it's at over 100,000 views so far.
Amazing.
And all the different posts we keep putting out, so it's really exciting. Obviously, anti-knife crime is something we feel quite passionate about. It's young people are involved in knife crime, unfortunately, so we're trying to do a positive piece of work on it as well. So it's been incredible, the amount of attention it's got. I don't know about you, but when I look at the media, I see a lot of negativity around knife crime.
Yeah.
And even though there's these groups on social media who are anti-knife crime groups, all I see is videos being posted of young people stabbing each other. And I'm thinking, we know that's happening. Do we need to see it? I actually don't think we do need to see that. So Wycombe Youth Action are posting positive things about knife crime, which our young people are very much part of. So so it's an incredible song. It really is.
Yeah,
absolutely incredible.
Amazing. Well, we'll chat some more about that a little later on as well. I think what's interesting, you covered a couple of things I wanted to kind of highlight there. You covered, for a start, obviously you work with both boys and girls from the ages of 10 to 25. I mean, is how much of a challenge is that to work with sort of different genders and different age ranges? Because obviously a 10-year-old girl is very different to a 25-year-old male, for example. So it must be quite tricky to work with people all across the spectrum.
Well, for me, because I'm quite old, I'm 64. I've been working with young people since I was 30. So for me, I don't actually find it difficult at all. I think for me, I try and be current as much as I can. Listen to music which young people listen to. I'm interested in what they're interested in. Start conversations about what are they watching, what things like that. What sort of music do they like? What are their hobbies? Things like that. Hasib probably works more with the older ones with his mentoring. I don't tend to work with much older than maybe 18, 19. But he's had experience of working in prisons, Hasib. So he's got a lot of experience with the older ones, if you like. So he's really good at that. So we've both got different strengths, Hasib and I. I forgot to mention, actually, we've got we've done it for the last, since 2023 in the town. We've done an anti-knife crime event where we work with a guy called Steve Voss, who's called Love Music, Hate Violence. And we have lots of different speakers in the town. We have music, things like that, dancers, guest speakers, graffiti art and stuff like that. And we try and educate parents about knife crime and let young people know that there is support there if they need it. This year we're doing, it's going to be a mini festival, so it's even going to be bigger. So that's going to be under the Guildhall on April the 18th.
Cool.
So that's a really big event for us.
Yeah. Amazing.
Mm.
Cool. And you talked as well about the charity itself has been going since the 80s, and obviously you say yourself you've been there for sort of 10 years or so, and I guess even some of the subjects that you cover must have changed quite a lot over the years. You say keeping safe online today is very different to what it was 10 years ago, and so how do you kind of keep up with all of that as well?
the change has been incredible, because I started working in schools 10 years ago, and the things what young people were having issues with were quite mild to what they are now. It's changed so much since the smartphone. As a charity as well, we're part of Smartphone Free Childhood. Really feel passionate about that, as trying to delay when young people get a smartphone. So we're trying to educate parents around that as well, because young people now, as young as 8, some of the boys I've worked with in schools have seen violent porn at the age of 8, and it's absolutely shocking their children. So I do quite a few talks on it as well, and I say it as it is, and I do say to parents, you wouldn't go to the kitchen drawer and give your child a knife, but you give them one of these, which is a weapon. It's, it is a weapon. So when I first joined it, I think there was 250,000 parents had joined this, and in the last couple of months it's gone up to about 400,000. So I do think parents are listening a bit more. For example, my 11-year-old granddaughter, she goes to secondary school next September. She'll be 12, and she's already been told she can't have a smartphone. She'll be having a brick phone, a Nokia one, which is, because they're not phones, are they? At the end of the day, they're not a phone. A telephone is to ring somebody. A smartphone isn't. It's full of so much danger.
It's essentially a computer, isn't it? It's an unrestricted computer. So yeah.
And I think parents don't want to say no to their children. So I'm trying to make parents parents and adults more accountable for what their children are getting involved in, because it is because of the smartphone. It's like sexual assault has gone up by so much since smartphones. Knife crime is being, is on online, and you can see what's happening. It's glamorized, So all of younger children now, we've lost a generation. It's too late, and it is so sad. But I think we just need to work now on trying to save the younger children, and prolonging when they get a smartphone for as late as 14. I actually think 14 is still too young, but the smartphone free childhood is aimed at 14. But I think probably 16 is probably an age where you can talk to your child about how to navigate things and stuff like that. And hopefully by their 16, they may not want one.
You're listening to The Art Show on 106.6 FM Wycombe Sound. I'm your host, Dane Cobain. I'm here in conversation with Wycombe Youth Action, and this is Waterfall with Bundle of Sticks.
In the corner of society sits the wise old man, a guardian of decency in a world gone mad. He sees the boy men racing by, imaginary garlands round their heads, endless words dripping from their lips. They don't hear him say, see this bundle of sticks is strong because of its mix. Alone they break just like twigs, don't untie. See this bundle of sticks is strong because of its mix. Alone they break just like twigs, don't untie. They're soaring eagles aiming high. The wise old man is underground. From their flight across the sky, they never hear the wisdom in his words. See this bundle of sticks is strong because of its mix. Alone they break just like twigs, don't untie. See this bundle of sticks is strong because of its mix. Alone they break just like twigs, don't untie.
That was Bundle of Sticks by Waterfall. You're listening to The Art Show on 106.6 FM Wycombe Sound. I'm your host, Dane Cobain. And it's time for us to be rejoined in conversation now by Wycombe Youth Action.
It's interesting as well, because I suppose part of this, and also, you know, the anti-knife crime project, and quite a lot of the work you do is about actually having these discussions in the first place and making sure, you know, almost that we're not just sort of blindly walking into things, that we are having discussions with our young people about, you know, what's important to them and what's important to society as well.
Yeah. I mean, the young people who have made the record, their maturity, I mean, most of the young people on the track are 12 years old. And it's incredible to hear their sort of points of views about how they think about things. And I think they're going to be very much highlighting so much about knife crime through this song. So we're trying at the moment to get as many live performances as we can, so we can take it into churches, into youth clubs, into schools. It's going to be on the radio, and hopefully we might even get to Britain's Got Talent. Who knows?
It'd be amazing, wouldn't it? Yeah,
I hope so.
Cool. And sort of obviously that involves sort of creativity, and a lot of your different programs involve creativity as well. I wondered if you could talk a little bit about some of the sort of the more creative aspects of the works that you do, and maybe some of the people that you work with in, you know, in the local creative scene.
Yeah, we work with lots of different organisations in High Wycombe. Capara, CIC, who does a lot of stuff on food waste and stuff like that, and we work with her. We've done projects with her to try and teach children about, you know, how not to waste food, how we can grow our own food. We do lots of environmental projects as well. We worked with the Chiltern Rangers in the past, but not so much lately. We haven't worked with them. We work with Mama B as well. I don't know if you've heard of Mama B. We work with Dan Wilson, the graffiti artist. We work with lots of different people. And a lot of our projects are with other people as well. Like if we do Beauty and the Truth, which is all about what does beauty mean to young people. We take organisations into the schools with us, and each will have a different workshop as well. So yeah, we do work with lots of different people. Yeah.
Cool.
It's really good to work. It's really good to work with other people, isn't it? That's what it's all about.
Well, that's it, and it helps kind of expand your reach and whatnot as well. And I wondered as well, because I know there are some organisations that have, you know, helped with funding and things like that. I wondered if you wanted to give a shout out to maybe a few.
Oh yes, to the community board. Community board, the Heart of Bucks have supported us. As I said to you, you know, we nearly did close down, and it was absolutely horrendous. And I was, you know, for Hasib and I, we've both got very personal reasons for keeping Wycombe Youth Action open, and that's what we wanted to do. So we reduced our hours, we reduced our staff, which was really, really sad. But we have managed to keep going for the last 16 months, and we're probably secure for at least a year. But as you know, you can't sit back on your laurels. You still got to keep applying for money. What I have found is in the last 16 months, because I apply for quite a lot of money now myself, even though we do have funders who fundraising people who raise money for us as well, and apply to different organisations and things and foundations and trusts. But I've found if you apply for the smaller pots of money now, you say that you're going to get half from this person and half from that person, you're more likely to get it. So we don't get big lots of money now, we get smaller pots of money now. So but it is, we're surviving. That's the main thing. Because to me, to let a charity go which has been around since 1982 would be absolutely awful.
Sure.
You know, we support at least 500 to 1,000 children per year, or young people are supported through our projects. So to me, it's really valuable that we keep going.
Amazing. And could you tell us about some of your success stories? I suppose I'm thinking particularly here, maybe with some of the older students that you're offering that you're doing the mentoring with.
Mm.
Are there any sort of standout stories of
Yes,
where?
yes, we are. I mean, we've had one young girl. Her name's Bethany. She won't mind me mentioning her name. Came to us when I think she was about 14, 15 to our youth club. She then became a volunteer. She then became a sessional worker for us. She still does some work for us as us now in between with her because she does a lot of traveling now.
Mhm.
She also became a TA in a school, so that was absolutely amazing. Hasib's had a young lad as well who's also been through his youth clubs and is now a sessional worker. So yeah, there are success stories. Which is really valuable to see a young person come to you and then you see them
Mm.
develop in all sorts of ways, and some will go on to become youth workers as well, which is fantastic,
Yeah,
you know. So yeah,
amazing.
it's good to see that. It is good to see young people get confident. I think with our youth clubs as well, you know, you see young people coming in who may be out on the street and have nowhere to go, but by coming to our youth clubs, they've got somewhere to go. And they have, I mean, they don't just come and hang, they come and do lots of different things. We
Mm.
have photography projects. We have tonight we had a martial arts project start with Focus Martial Arts because we got some funding from the lottery for that to do a
Mhm.
50-week um, uh, it's called Let's Get Physical, because a lot of young people don't necessarily like PE at school anymore.
Mm.
So
Yeah,
my idea around that was let's do something which is fun, what they can try and they can enjoy, so it's not too serious.
yeah.
So that we started that tonight. Hasib's got some. I've got some sessions to do martial arts as well. Then we might do some fun football with Wycombe Wanderers. Hopefully, I forgot to say that we work with Wycombe Wanderers as well.
Yeah,
So
that's
yeah,
awesome.
so we like to do different things. We do arts and crafts. We did some upcycling with a lovely lady called Juliet Hamilton, who came and
Dressmaker, yeah.
they came and brought their clothes in and they upcycled them. So there's lots of different projects that we do. So they don't just come for 2 hours. They don't just hang around, just
Yeah,
hang and talk, chat and talk. There's a focus in part of the youth club. So of course they can chill out and play pool and table tennis, but we might have a talk on. We work quite closely with the police as well. One of
yeah.
our police officers, Catherine Bennett, she comes and does online safety with young people. So there's lots of different things that we do at our youth clubs. Lots of different things. Yeah.
Awesome. And you mentioned obviously a lot of your sort of clubs and programs they tend to get quite full. Is there like a waiting list or anything like that? And how can,
Yes, yes.
maybe
I
people
mean,
who aren't involved now, how can they get involved in the future?
well, if they go onto our website, Wycombe Youth Action, they can contact us. Um, info at wycombeyouthaction.co.uk.
Hmm.
Yasmin at wycombeyouthaction.co.uk. We do have waiting lists, but they, as I say, young people tend to come to us at 10, and
Hmm.
by sort of 14, 15, they sort of start to move on. So the spaces are then always they're filled constantly, really. We could up our numbers, but from a personal point of view, Hasib and I keep the numbers to 15 because then we feel that three staff
Mm.
can give those young people like time. It gives
Yeah,
us time to get to know them. It gives them quality time. So that's why we don't have any more than 15.
yeah. No, it makes sense. Cool. And in terms of other ways that people can support you, obviously there's from like maybe like a volunteering point of view, there's fundraising, there's mentoring. So
Oh,
what
loads
are
of
some of
stuff.
those different
Yeah.
ways that people can get involved and
Yes,
how would
definitely.
they?
Yeah. Yeah. We've got some lovely volunteers who are absolutely amazing. We've got some parents who are really good to us as well, who donate various games to us. They
Hmm.
donate because we don't do this might make you laugh, but our youth clubs don't do sweets and fizzy drinks and stuff like that. We tend to cook for them.
Nice, yeah.
So like tonight it was beans on toast with cheese or baked potatoes or something. We'd rather feed them something nutritious, because I don't know about you, but I feel young people have enough sugar in their diet anyway. So
I mean, I do as an adult.
yeah, I know. We all do, don't we? So it was met with a little bit of resistance, but now they love it and they come in and go, so what have we got to eat tonight, miss? So they've got used to it now. So we don't have like tuck or anything like that. Occasionally we have a treat and we might have a takeaway pizza.
Yeah.
Every now and again. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and I suppose as well, that goes back to how you were saying before, with like learning to cook and things like that. Again, it's so easy these days to just have, takeaways or ready meals or like processed junk and all of this stuff. But actually, learning to be able to cook something healthy and nutritious for yourself.
Which is brilliant, which takes me to our project, United and Stronger. I forgot about that one. There's another project we do. United and Stronger is aimed at girls. And they can bring any female with them. It could be their mum, their nan, their aunt, their sister, their sibling, a friend. And then we do cooking with Charmaine, and they cook a meal from scratch, and then we all sit around the table and we eat together. So yeah, which I think is really important as well.
Yeah, for sure. Cool. Okay, I think that's most of what I wanted to cover. Do you want to just give us another kind of a little highlight reel, I suppose, of the knife crime project? So you mentioned the song. I mean, what's the song called? Where will people be able to, download it, all of that stuff?
Okay, at the moment, the song is called Redirect, which was named by the young people. We are still waiting for a release date. We haven't got the release date yet. But it will be January. That's all I can tell you at the moment. I'm just waiting for the date when it's going to be released. The guy I'm working with, Steve Voss from Love Music Hate Violence, he's the one who's doing all of that behind the scenes. So we should know in the next 2 weeks of the release date. Then I can let you know.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Cool. And what's sort of next for you throughout 2026?
Right, 2026, that's what we said. Because this project has been so amazing, I'm thinking, how can we top it? Do you know what I mean? How can we beat this? So we spoke to the young people and we thought we'd do a film on anti-knife crime as well, which would be fantastic because we can have the same young people involved. Obviously, we can bring new young people into it as well. Our song can be in the film. Yeah. We can get young people who've been affected by knife crime to come and be in it as well. I've got a couple of older people who've contacted me already who said they'd like to be in the film as well. So that's what we're going to do for 2026. So that will be after April, sometime after our anti-knife crime event in the town. Yeah. So we're working on that at the moment. Yeah.
Cool. And where can people follow you to sort of stay up to date with what you're up to? Right,
if they you can go onto Wycombe Youth Action's Facebook page, or on Instagram. We're on Instagram as well. We're just waiting to get TikTok going because I think TikTok is the in thing, isn't it, for young people?
Yeah.
So that's gonna obviously. I don't know a lot about TikTok. I don't know about you, but I don't know a lot about TikTok. But Facebook, funnily enough, it's the oldest social media. But when I look at all the views, most of them have come, thousands of them have come from my own Facebook, my personal Facebook, because my friends all follow what I do. And on the Wycombe Youth Action Facebook page is far greater than the Instagram.
Yeah.
Funnily enough.
Big thank you to Wycombe Youth Action for joining me. You're listening to The Art Show on 106.6 FM Wycombe Sound. I'm your host, Dane Cobain, and this is Maz Manzini with Seeds of Hope.
Train is coming over the hill, compelled down the rail track
by our children's will, trekking through the Dust Bowl, coming down the line. The train is coming, but it takes time. The train is rattling down the dusty track, platform filling slowly, daylight fades to black. Bridging over rivers, cutting through the woods, the train is coming as it should. Let them breathe, let them grow, these seeds of hope. Let them breathe, let them grow, these seeds of hope. These seeds of hope. Train is coming, kicking up the sand, to take all the children off to slumberland. Freddie, little Jonah, Bo and Nancy Ray, it's time to go now, he can't stay. Let him breathe, let him go. Let them breathe, let them grow, these seeds of hope, these seeds of hope. Train is coming over the hill, down through New Mexico, it's coming still. Pulling an ETNO, lifting off the earth, steaming through the sky for all she's worth. Train is whistling, whistling through the clouds, treetop kissing, cargo sleeping sound, wheeling round the hillside, landing on the tracks. Listen for the train, she's coming back. Let it breathe, let it grow, these seeds of hope. Let it breathe, let it grow, these seeds of hope. Let it breathe, let it grow, these seeds of hope. Let it breathe, let it grow, these seeds of hope, these seeds of hope.
To school, but I worked my father's land. I'd never been 10 miles from our home, but after 15 summers I could ride and I could shoot, and I ventured to the county fair alone. The sergeant in the army tent had shillings on his drum, and his stories and the ale called to me. And before I knew it, I'd received my shilling and a gun, off to fight the French for my king and country. And it wasn't just the foe who saw us coming, as we marched in line with rifles in our hands, and slaughtered boys who looked like us but spoke another tongue, to decide which rich man got to rule the land. Rule the land. 2 centuries on, it's still the same. Everything's different, but nothing's changed. I wasn't good at school, and I couldn't find a job that required all the skills I'd learned at home. A life of watching movies, playing Xbox, flying drones doesn't fit you for a standard office clone. But I'd seen all the recruitment advertising, let us make you into all that you can be. And before I knew it, I'd received a buzz cut and a gun, and the rest is military history. History. We'd make friends to last a lifetime. They never said how long that life would be. And those of us who made it back were not the boys who left our homes to answer to the call of our duty. They promised we'd come back covered in glory, we'd be heroes and our country would be proud. But who has work for men who've seen too much and can't forget the things they've done and blood spill on that foreign ground? And it wasn't just the foe who saw us coming, as we stood there with our papers in our hands. It wasn't in the desert or the field or in the trench, but on the home front where we took our final stand. It wasn't just the foe who saw us coming, as we stood there with our papers in our hands. It wasn't in the desert or the field or in the trench, but on the home front where we took our final stand. The final stand. The land, who makes the choice, who makes the profit, who pays the price.
That was Call of Duty by Simon Gregory, and before that we had Seeds of Hope by Maz Manzini. You're listening to The Art Show on 106.6 FM Wycombe Sound. I'm your host Dane Cobain, and it's time for us to head over to the Ilkshed now to catch up with Twangling Jack Ford for this week's album review.
Volunteers, Jefferson Airplane. This is definitely Jefferson Airplane's second best album. The songwriting, playing and singing are near to perfect. If I had one slight criticism, it would be that they let the lead guitarist play over the singing, while often leaving gaps in the singing bare. There is only one song with any kind of far-out noodling jam going on, and that is probably just the right amount. It was recorded in 1969, and there was a guitar riff about at the time that was quite popular. It turned up in several rock songs, most notably The Who's Tommy. And this album starts with that riff as a guitar intro to a very tuneful peace anthem, and appears again in the final track, Volunteers, which is a much more rabble-rousing peace anthem. They also do Wooden Ships, a song that Paul Kantner, who is one of their singers and guitarists, wrote with Crosby, Stills and Nash, and it is probably better known as the Crosby, Stills and Nash song. The Airplane probably do the harmonies just as well as Crosby, Stills and Nash, but Marty Balin and Grace Slick are two of the best and most distinctive voices in 60s rock music. I also probably prefer it because you can make out exactly who is singing what, and it makes it a bit more dramatic and operatic. If there was one musician who defined how his instrument should be played in a rock setting, it was Nicky Hopkins. He developed a way of fitting country and blues piano licks into straight-up rock songs. He played on Who records and on John Lennon's Imagine, and he played on just about everything the Rolling Stones did at the time, including live appearances. He was an Englishman who preferred to live in San Francisco, and his playing on this album is one of the things that for me makes it their second best album. I will listen to tracks just because Nicky Hopkins is playing on them. Volunteers, Jefferson Airplane.
Big thank you to Twangling Jack Ford for this week's album review. Thank you to Wycombe Youth Action for being this week's guest. Thank you to everyone whose music I've shared. As always, you can find us on Facebook. If you search for The Art Show on Wycombe Sound, you should be able to find us. We are repeated on Wycombe Sound on Monday nights. We're on the Wycombe Sound Listen Again, iTunes, Spotify and wherever else you get your podcasts. Please do leave us a short review, it all helps. And you can email me here at the studio on dane.cobain@wycombesound.org.uk. That's dane.cobain@wycombesound.org.uk. Let me know if you fancy coming on the show. I'd love to have you. So I'm going to leave you with one last tune, and this is Straight 8 with their version of Grits Ain't Groceries. I'll catch you next week.
If I don't love you, baby, grits ain't groceries, eggs and poultry, and Mona Lisa was a man. Oh yeah! Listen, all around the world, I'd rather be a fly. Allow my baby stay for a moment till I die. With a toothpick in my hand, I dig a 10-foot ditch and run off in the jungle, find a line with a switch. 'Cause you know I love you, baby.